Welcome everybody to the Short Sports Show. I'm your host Daniel Short. Today is Monday, January 12th, 2015. And we're doing something a little bit different with this episode today. We're going to split it up. So people that want to hear the NFL side of the Short Sports Show, we'll do that first right now because I'm still gathering some things up because as we all know, tonight is the national championship game, playoff game with Oregon taking on Ohio State. I will do an entire show on that, so that's why I'm separating these two. So people that just want to hear NFL for right now and want to get that and all the news that's happening, we'll get that show out first. And for the people that want to hear the college football stuff, have to wait a little bit later in the day to hear it, but we will get that done as well. And I'm excited. Today is an exciting day. We got news with head coaches and a couple of them happening right now. And also, we need to talk about what happened yesterday, or this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with great NFL divisional games. Probably one of the best playoff games we have seen. I honestly, all of them were really, really good. Usually, we always have some good games, but these just stood out. They just had your interest from beginning to the end. They had great endings. Well, unless you're a certain fan, Dallas Cowboys, I'm sorry. And, Denver Broncos and a few others, didn't have great endings for you guys. But to a normal fan, especially when your team is not in the playoffs and you're just watching, it's been an incredible playoffs so far. And it's only going to get better with the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. But first, we'll get on to some NFL news before we go on and talking about the games. First is Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Steve Smith does plan to play in 2015. He will turn 36 years old shortly. And after the Ravens lost to the Patriots in Saturday's AFC divisional playoff game, Steve Smith posted on Instagram that he doesn't intend on retiring and expects to return for his 15th NFL season. I mean, who would have thought? Panthers have made now obviously not a wise decision to release him because Steve Smith did let the Ravens in receptions with 79 catches, 1,065 receiving yards in his first season with the Ravens. And after they said that he's getting older now. I mean, he is getting older. He's going to turn 36 this year. It's incredible what he has done, and just to do it and just the way he did it. I mean, everybody was doubting him. He used that all for motivation, and bam, tears up the league and did an amazing job. It was the most receiving yards in a single season by a player that was 35 or older since Rod Smith back in 2005 when he had 1,105 yards. So just an amazing season for Steve Smith. Now, I don't really think he's going to be able to post that once again. I mean, not really about the age because 35, 36, he continues to work. I can't really see him taking a huge slide, but, he barely got over 1,000 yards. Great accomplishment, not taking anything away from him. He worked hard for all that, but, Ravens, if they really believe that is going to be your starting wide receiver, then you're going to get used to losing to the Patriots and losing in the playoffs your second round, if not first round. You're going to have more wide receivers for you. Joe Flacco, an amazing quarterback, especially in the playoffs. In a regular season, can't really, up and down mostly. But in the playoffs, he's one of the best quarterbacks. As I don't know if you guys heard when you're watching the game, has more playoff wins than Brady, Manning, and Rodgers, I believe, and I think another quarterback. More playoff wins than all of them. That tells you something. He's a solid quarterback out there. He's just doesn't have the weapons around him. Running game has been up and down. Thankfully, Justin Forsett came out of nowhere as well. Over 1,000 rushing yards for him. Awesome job. But he's up in age. You're going to need another big running back out there. And thankfully, this is the best time to draft one. You got Melvin Gordon, Amir Abdullah. I'm slipping names here. Tevin Coleman. Got a lot of running backs out there they can get. Good for them. But they're also going to need some wide receivers because Steve Smith, if he could be your slot guy, your third down wide receiver, you could, save him throughout the regular season. You're going to be all right. But he can't be your number one wide receiver. So let's move on. Speaking of the Baltimore Ravens, Gary Kubiak will not interview for any head coaching openings and will remain Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator in 2015, saying, quote, "It is flattering. I cannot speak today. I'm too excited. And humbling to be invited to interview for a number of NFL head coaching positions, and I greatly appreciate these opportunities. But I have decided to stay with the Ravens." And Kubiak led the Ravens to their highest offensive ranking. Check this out. In 17 years. That's right. Their highest offensive ranking in 17 years. It's incredible what he's done to that offense. And with a lot of, guys that are just, like we just said, older, but able to get the job done. Motivated, pushed through adversity, and became a real solid team. They just need to get those key pieces in, wide receivers, a running back, maybe some secondary, and you're set. You can make another deep playoff run like the Ravens did this season. Other news, the New York Jets were prepared to fly to Seattle immediately after Saturday night's game if the Seattle Seahawks had lost to the Carolina Panthers, mainly to try and hire Dan Quinn as their head coach. Of course, Dan Quinn is the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, but he cannot be offered a job until Seattle's playoffs or postseason is over. Whether they win the Super Bowl, that at the very latest, or they lose this upcoming week against the Green Bay Packers. Those are NFL rules. But New York Jets, they were ready to jet right over to Seattle. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyways, they were ready to go over there and offer him a deal and, set some things straight and just have him as the next head coach. See, I don't really know. If I was the New York Jets, one, I would have never fired Rex Ryan. You needed a quarterback, and you need a whole lot of things on that roster, and Rex Ryan was honestly the best coach, but I'm liking Rex Ryan where he's going, and we'll talk about that right after this. But Jets, you need a whole lot of help, and I don't know. Dan Quinn, he's obviously a great coordinator, but you got to think about it. Gus Bradley was there before him as a defensive coordinator. Jacksonville, he's done some things, but is he really a head coaching material? The Seahawks defense is the players out there that make them great. And the brotherhood that they have is what's making them great. I think anybody can really step in and be the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks and probably produce the same, as well. Not to take anything away from Dan Quinn, but I feel like he's the same as Gus Bradley and really just, I don't know. I think he's more just as a coordinator, and he's probably a great defensive coordinator. I'm not taking that away from him at all. But I just don't know if he's really who you want as the face of your franchise, as the head coach of your team. Does that really make you, motivated as a free agent, player to go say, hey, I want to go play for Dan Quinn? Maybe if you're a defensive guy, but, right now with the Jets, their situation, do you really feel like that's the best place to go? That would be, my case. And if I was in New York Jets, you made a lot of stupid decisions so far. Really check out if you really want to hire Dan Quinn. I don't know. But a team that made a really good pickup, and surprisingly, it's in the same division as the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills have finally, it is official, it is a done deal, have signed a 5-year deal to make Rex Ryan their new head coach. And the hiring of Ryan, will earn a salary of $5.5 million per year. And the Bills are also expected to hire 49ers offensive coordinator Greg Roman for the same position, according to sources. Rex Ryan and Greg Roman previously worked together as assistant coaches with the Baltimore Ravens, so they'll come back and join together. Now, okay, let's talk about this for a couple seconds here. Buffalo Bills, great pickup. Awesome pickup. Rex Ryan, defensive-minded guy. Knows the NFL, knows how to win. Obviously, he had some situation with the Jets towards the end. That's what got him fired. But really, it was a quarterback situation. His first 2 seasons as a head coach, he brought in rookie Mark Sanchez to be their quarterback, and the first 2 seasons led them back-to-back AFC championship games. Yes, they lost both of them, but hey, that's not bad for your first 2 seasons as a head coach. And with the rookie quarterback and a first-year quarterback. Not bad at all. Thing is, mainly I really wanted Rex Ryan to go and coach the San Francisco 49ers. That is where I thought was the best move. I thought it made the most sense. For winning-wise and successful-wise, it looked like it was the best shot for Rex Ryan. You have a defense that's already in set that he can create and make even better than they already are. They can go back to a couple years ago when the defense was, 1-2 with the Seattle Seahawks. Now they're kind of like 7th, 8th, 10th or whatever they are now, or worse. I don't know what the defense was, but he can make it a whole lot better. Back to where it was, if not even better than that. And in San Francisco, you happen to have a franchise quarterback who's, he's been off this past couple seasons, hasn't been making this, the smartest decisions on the playing field. But the 49ers obviously believed in him because they gave him a huge deal. Whether he's worth it, that's a different conversation. But Rex Ryan can make him worth that deal. I think Rex Ryan could have made Colin Kaepernick a real star back in the NFL, back to when he was playing his rookie or not really his rookie season, but his first time going out there a couple years ago when they made it to that big run and then lost to the Giants. That type of season for Colin Kaepernick. And then the next season after that. I think Rex Ryan could have really won with the 49ers. I think defense would have been back on top. Offense would have been a lot better than it has been the past 2 years. And Rex Ryan is back to going into playoffs. And I'm saying, 49ers are winning. I'm saying they're beating the Seattle Seahawks. And I think we could be looking at a huge – I don't want to say dynasty because that's really a big word to say around right now, but he really could have done something special, and I'm talking maybe a couple Super Bowls with the 49ers. I think he would have just brought back Colin Kaepernick's love and life for football, and that defense would have been, motivated every single day because they know they're with Rex Ryan. They still would have kept Greg Roman, who's with the 49ers as of right now, and not anymore probably. I think that was the best thing. Now that has not happened, and now Rex Ryan is staying in the New York, New Jersey area. Now he's actually moving to New York and Buffalo. I don't know. I mean, it's great for the Bills. The defense is already great as it is. And the Jets, they had a solid defense. Rex Ryan always kept that defense pretty well. Bills defense, even better. Jerry Hughes from TCU, by the way. And also, Mario Williams. I mean, you have defensive guys that led the NFL in sacks once again this year. I believe they were top 3 last season, if not the number 1 team in recording sacks. I mean, you have a defense there. Get the secondary up a little bit, and you're complete. Great, smart choice for Rex Ryan and the Bills at that point. But Rex Ryan is really in the same spot that he was with the Jets. No quarterback. Kyle Orton's gone. He's not coming back out of retirement. He's done, and really, honestly, you don't even need him. Yeah, he led you guys to a winning season. It's still Kyle Orton, He's done. That's not your franchise quarterback anymore. Maybe back in 2007, 2008, maybe back then. Not anymore. And E.J. Manuel, I don't really know if Rex Ryan can really bring out E.J. Manuel. I feel like E.J. Manuel is probably done where he's at. I think that was his stopping point. Preseason where he was dominant. That was as high as it was going to get for EJ Manuel. I had a whole lot of faith. I was hoping he'd be coming back on top, but I don't know. I mean, I'm saying they're keeping him. I mean, they could trade him, but I don't see where they would trade him to and who would take him. I don't think Tampa Bay would pick him up for first, swap picks or something for the first round. But now you need a quarterback. You're back in your same boat that you were with the Jets. No quarterback. So, I don't know. If I was him, I would have waited on that San Francisco deal. San Francisco, you have a quarterback and you have a defense. Buffalo, you have a defense, no quarterback. What makes the best? What's the smartest? But I'm happy for the Bills. I hope the Bills, go out there. And now he's staying in the same division. So, can't really lose to the Jets now. Because if you just happen to lose to the Jets, your first game or whatever, then, it's going to hurt you a little bit.